I don't know. 6 points off of playoffs, 16 games left to play, a lousy point out the Riverside, and Fulham around the corner at Ewood Park next weekend. Can we really do it, folks? Can we mathematically do it? Well, we'll take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match review. This time picking apart Blackburn Rovers' draw against Middlesbrough at the Riverside, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, world football related, all here under Warowski. That's right, folks. Mathematically, we're still in the hunt, boys. We are still in the hunt. But it would have been oh so much sweeter if it wasn't for that pesky Middlesbrough snatching a goal within the final 15 minutes. Anyway, let's take a look at the match then, shall we, in a little bit more detail. So, yeah, 1-1 in the end. 19,937 folks were in attendance to watch this bad boy. Let me just play around with these lights here a little bit. Is that better? Better or worse, as the old optician would say. How about that? Better or worse? Better or worse? Anyway, so 19,937 folks were in attendance to watch the 1-1 draw. Lewis Travis with the opener on 58 minutes. It was a good goal. If you catch my Twitter feed, you could have seen the goal pretty much as it happened, boys, on the sly. So, yeah, 1-0 it was just after half-time for us, 58 minutes. In a very, very stodgy first half, it didn't really, it was not open at all. Very limited chances in the first half. But once we took the lead, we had another 15 or 20, well, I said another 15 minutes of a bit of pressure, but then it was all Middlesbrough from their goal and beyond, and we were very lucky in the end to get out of it with just a point, because it could have been much, much worse. So yeah, let's take a look at the shots or the stats there for you down the bottom. 18 shots for Borough, just 7 for Rovers, 57.6% possession for the host, 42.4% for Rovers, 78% pass succession for Middlesbrough, 68% for us. We won our aerial duels, which is one of those stats that we are doing very well in. 20 to 17 aerial duels. They're more dribbles than us, 13 to our 3, and we were dispossessed more than them. And they also had more corners. Tackles on the ground was very, very much similar. So let's look at the starting 11s now. First and foremost with Middlesbrough, they had Pearce between the sticks, Fry, McNair and Howson made up the back 3. Johnson, Wing, Saville and Spence made up a midfield quartet. And up top it was Nemencha, Taverner and Fletcher leading the line. How about Rovers? Well, we opted to go with the back 4 of, well, I'll tell you that back 4 in a minute. 1 between sticks. The back 4 of Bell, Lenihan, Adebayo and Nyambe. Travis, Downing, the German Daxter, Lewis Hobby in the middle of the park. Rankin Costello got themselves a full start. Sam Gallagher and Adam Armstrong leading the way. Now, these are my match ratings for you. It will be there's some surprises in there. We'll kick it all off with Walton. He had a 7 very, very good saves, especially towards the back end of that game. Without him in there, I think if we had the Lautweiler or any other below par keeper, we would have been found out today, and we would have come home with absolutely nothing. And Middlesbrough, we really rocking home with 3 points. Amari Bell got himself a 7 as well. Looked very, very composed today. Probably one of his better performances I've seen him in a blue and white shirt, even though we were playing in blue today. Lenihan also got a 5. wasn't really that great. To be honest with you, our back 4 looked okay at times, but the defensive, the two in the middle today, just I think they had an off day. Unfortunately for us, the off day didn't result in a defeat, and you know what, I'm gladly taking home a point with this one. I would have taken it at the kickoff, and I'm taking it home right here, right now. So he had a 5. Adebayo also had a 5. There was just too many moments of that looked a bit too nervy for me. You know, a bit too casual on parts. Thompson and Adebayo. Nyambe, though, with a commanding 6, or decent 6 as well. Travis gets a 7. Obviously, I think he's up there with the man of the match contenders. Stuart Down with a 6 against his old club. He had a nice round of applause from at kickoff, and also when substituted towards the back end of that game. Lewis Holtby got himself a 4. Got himself an injury as well. I'm not too sure. I think the gaffer will give us an update shortly on that in a second. You'll hear it right here, right now. But 4, yeah, he looked not at his best. Joe reckon Costello was a warrior today. Obviously got a bit of head injury towards back in the first half, but he soldiered on. He did get replaced a little bit later on for I think it was maybe Danny Graham or someone else. Sam Galley as well, below par performance for him again, a 5, and Adam Armstrong with a 5 as well. So the forward guys not really delivering today. Let's look at some of the old heat maps. If you're a heat map man just like me, you can see where all the drama unfolded. It seemed to be down the left and the right hand side for Middlesbrough. Their wingers, I would say, Johnson and Spence, causing all kinds of trouble down the left and the right hand side. We did see a cameo as well from ex-Rover Rudy Gestead, Assombalonga as well, so coming off on the bench, causing all kinds of problems. And Coulson obviously with the goal. As a youngster as well. As for Rovers, it seemed to be going down the left-hand side today, and that is the Amari Bell side. So Naomi not having too much freedom today. Again, maybe a bit of an off day. More some stats and some figures here for you. 18 shots, we talked about that already. Touches, 680 touches for Middlesbrough, just 527 for Rovers. 447 passes for Borough as well. 326 for the mighty blue and white. They hit the woodwork, I believe. It's not counted though. It was more of a cross. And it wasn't really troubling the keeper, but it was on its way out. You can see where down the bottom there on the graphic. If I can dodge it for you, am I going to dodge it? Yeah, there you go. That's where the goal took place, right there, for Rovers. Yeah. So all in all, it wasn't horrific. But it was definitely a game that could have been won either side. Middlesbrough started the season pretty woeful, but have turned a massive corner. Might be a little bit bobbly these days, but their home form is what's keeping them in out of trouble at the moment, and they're looking good. And if we'd walked away with the 1-0 win, it would, especially after the barrage at the end, we would have been at daylight robbery. I think we're very lucky that we didn't get beat today. We'll continue our unbeaten run. A nice little start. We got a tricky one. But not an unbeatable one on the weekend against Fulham at Ewood Park. That's also a bit of a fortress for us. So hopefully we can at least get out of that game with our heads held high as well, and maybe continue a decent start to 2020 and get some more points on the board. Anyway, just that's a little bit of what I've had to say about the match. What about the gaffer? What did he have to say shortly after the final whistle as Blackburn Rovers picked up a point at his old stomping ground, the Riverside?
I thought it was a game we could win 1-0, and yet I thought Borough were good with the ball today. You know, when they pushed us back, the substitutions they allowed, we probably allowed too many balls in the box in the last 15-20 minutes. I think Assombalonga is obviously a good footballer at this level. Rudy Gestead, as Rovers fans know, is a huge threat physically, aerially. You know, Walton made a great save. I think Borough are a good team. I think, you know, Jonathan deserves huge credit. He's found a way that suits this group of players with their athleticism in wide areas and experience in the middle. But yeah, listen, I think we'll take the point on the back of back-to-back wins. A point away from home in the Championship is okay for us. This is a hard place to go. He's at 10 unbeaten, Borough at the Riverside, so we'll just add to that statistic. But disappointed, tinged with disappointment, I think. Even though I thought Borough were a good team, and particularly for long spells that second half they were better than we were. But we got ourselves in a winning position, but couldn't manage to see it out. Yeah, listen, Trav, I'm probably guilty of holding Trav back. Trav is, if you're playing Holtby and Downing in a three-man midfield with Travis's legs are what's important to stop transition and put fires out and when we lose the ball. Because with Holtby and Downing, generally you can pick the right pass and you can dominate the play. You need to balance that off with the footballer who can tackle and run and smell danger, and that's what Travis does. He's not really given a licence to go and break into space, play 1-2s around the edge of the box and stick it in the bottom corner, but he did that today, and delighted for him. He's an amazing kid, to be honest. You know, he's a boy really, and yet he's a Scouser with a fire burning in his belly to be a footballer really. You know, I think if Blackburn Rovers don't achieve where they might want to go in the next few years, I think Travis's eyes are only set on playing at the top and playing for the best teams, and we have to try and keep matching that ambition if we can. Yeah, that's it. You know, so Dak, Rothwell, now Holtby, you know, allied to Evans. Yeah, we've had to find a different way of playing without Dak which has alienated a little bit Graham's used to the team of what we do, and when Dak's around, it's as almost happened today with Armstrong. Graham pulled on a diag and he had a chance to drop it down for Armstrong. Yeah, we're running out of those naturally. We tried really hard yesterday to find them players, and we thought we'd got one or two, but they both fell away really. But yeah, let's wait and see. It's a big blow, Lewis Holtby. Lewis Holtby's shown that he can score. He could do what Dak does. He gets in the 6-yard box. You know, he scored 2, should have scored 3 at Sheffield Wednesday, and that's what he brings. He brings a clinical aspect to his game in and around the box, and he allows us to link from back to front by his technical ability to get hold of the ball. Well, frustrating is the word, really. I mean, because a lot of people did a lot of hard work for this window and a lot of preparation, and a lot of players that we thought would from the executives at the club we've been talking to, they were done deals basically, and then the goalpost changed. I've talked about FA Cup, some teams progressing in the FA Cup or having cup replays, and they made decisions that that deal that we were going to do is not going to happen anymore. One young player actually couldn't sort, he was coming if he sorted a contract at his club, he couldn't get the contract sorted. The club refused to let him out until he agrees a new deal. It's, you know, things sort of fell away one at a time really, and ultimately we were going to spend a lot of money on a Premier League footballer that had become surplus a little bit because of a new signing that club had. His salary was way out of our league, and yet that deal almost happened. In the end, the player didn't want to leave his Premier League club. Apparently his family situation dictated, and he didn't come, and so we were left a bit frustrated.
So you heard a little bit what I've had to say. What about and you've also heard what the gaffers had to say. What about the fans and players and all that kind of good stuff? Well, they've been very, very vocal on the old Twitter sphere. Christian Walton said, 4 unbeaten and another point on the road, 16 massive games to go. Indeed there is, Walton, and hopefully you can lead us straight up there in the top 6. It's not out of the question just yet. You know, get your calculators out, boys. Good point today. Everyone put in a shift. Onto the next one. Happy to hit 100 appearances for the mighty blue and white. Russell Prescott, we'll get to you in a minute. Let's talk about the other boys here. Elliot Bennett, great spirit, resilience, and especially towards the end of the game to get a point. Unbeaten in 3. Oh, contradiction there. And a big February ahead. Hope Lewis' injury isn't too bad. Lewis Holtby, yeah. Joe Rankin Costello, unbelievable first good performance from the lads. Fans were class. Sam Gallagher also chipping in with something. A hard-earned point on the road. Big shift from all the boys. Thanks to the travelling fans for their support. And, of course, Russell Prescott. So, remember, Travis bursting onto the scene a year ago. Now focus on Joe Rankin Costello. Was excellent today. Composed on the ball. Got forward well. Defended stoutly and positionally excellent. This boy is going places. He's going nowhere. He's staying put. Moving forward, we have Chris Martin. 3 things that are certain in life. Death, taxes, and Blackburn Rovers drawing 1-1 away at the border. It's a bit of a tradition at this point. Meanwhile, BRSCS.com said this, probably a fair result overall, but always frustrating to give up 2 points as opposed to winning 1. A bit hairy at the end. Wish we'd signed Rudy back, given that last 10 minutes. Of course, yeah, he was a monstrous presence in the box, causing all kinds of problems. He was very unlucky not to get a couple of goals himself. Russell Prescott back once again. Special mention to Christian Walton. He's taken some stick this season, unfairly at times, but made a class save late on. Aside from that, his handling was excellent. Sean Fox, aka the American Rover, pretty poor performance overall for Rovers, considering given we've 6 more matches this month. Injuries piling up. Might have to go 4-4-2. Bring in Chapman. Meanwhile, Northern Rovers had this decent point from Rovers. Scrappy game. Fine goal from Travis after a Borough equaliser. We did well to hang on. Fab save at the end from Walton to deny Gusted. Follow at Ewood up next. Up. It will be difficult. It will be, but it's not undoable. We can do this, buddies. Thomas Palm said this. Great point that given how Borough played today in recent seasons, we would have lost that. Indeed, we would have. Rovers tweak also chipping in. Lewis Travis is going to go above and beyond this team if we don't go up. Brilliant to see how much he's improved in the last 2 years. I think he won't go anywhere next season. I think we'll have another season with him. He'll start to pick up maybe a bit of notoriety from leading Championship clubs and also maybe even Premier League clubs. I think we've probably got another 2 years, I'd say, before we're going to be scrambling to keep a hold of him. As for Dak, Obviously, I thought he was going to go in the summer, this summer coming up. But now with the injury, I think that's brought us another year and a bit with him, another 18 months. So I think end of next summer, he could be on his way. We could be on his way. We might be doing a Hull City next season, this time next season or something like that, and losing some of our prized assets. So hopefully that's not the case. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the old Championship, let's take a little look, shall we? Derby County, Wayne Rooney's Derby County. That's back-to-back goals for the ex-England man. 4-0 win for Derby County over Stoke. Cardiff also picking up a point again against Reading. Again, it was a 1-1 draw over in Wales. Today's games, the early kickoff out in the KCOM, Hull City. Now Bowenless Hull City, 5-1 loss at home in front of their faithful. Goodness gracious me. Leeds and Wigan, goodness me as well. Wigan seemed to be the bogey side for Leeds, picking up at a 1-0 win at Ellen Road. Monstrous win for Wigan, sloppy by Leeds. It's really opened up a can of worms for themselves as the chasing pack are going to get there. They're going to be the bottlers. They're going to bottle job it, boys. They're going to bottle job it. Obviously, the game of the weekend was at the Riverside 1-1 draw. Sheffield Wednesday and Millwall do get to a 0-0 draw. Fulham, our next opponents, 3-2 victory over Huddersfield. Goals galore in the first half. All those goals in the first half. Charlton picking up a win against Barnsley. That's put a bit of a spanner in the works down there. West Brom 2-0 winners over Luton. That puts them outright leaders. Preston 1, Swansea 1. QPR lost at home to Bristol City, and Birmingham surprised us all with a 2-1 win against Nottingham Forest. I think we're down in that game. This is what the table looks at the moment. West Brom lead the way by just 1 point. Is that right? I think, yeah, that was West Brom's first victory in a while. And I think Leeds won in midweek against, I think it was Millwall, wasn't it? They were 2 down. They came back. So it's kind of even itself out a little bit. West Brom still leading the way by a point. Leeds are only 3 points over, leading over Fulham. Sorry, 3 points clear of Fulham at the moment, and Fulham are obviously at Ewood Park next weekend. Then it's Forest, Brentford and Bristol City make up the top 6. Down the bottom, Luton, Barnsley and Wigan going down, but it's very, very tight. A win for Wigan in the next game, and they could drag in the likes of Stoke, Huddersfield and Charlton back into the thick of things. Rovers up to 10th at the moment, 6 points off of 6th, 3 points off of 8th. That's where we just got to focus on Fulham. That's all we got to think about. Nothing else. Fulham is the target right now. Try and drag home 3 points there. Next up, though, this is the week ahead. Out of the Championship, Bristol City will take on Birmingham on Friday night. Into Saturday, early kick-off, Wigan against Preston. That'll be a bit of a fruity classic. Barnsley against Sheffield Wednesday, also a bit early as well. Obviously, North East affair, Yorkshire affair there. Then it's Brentford, Middlesbrough, Stoke, Charlton. Huddersfield against QPR. Swansea against Derby. Reading against Hull City. Luton Town against Cardiff. The late game is Forest against Leeds. Into Sunday we have Millwall against West Brom. But the game of the weekend, of course, is at Ewood Park. It will be Rovers up against Fulham. Boys and girls, the return of Tom Kenny, Justin Bieber to you and me back at Ewood Park this weekend. And that, my friends, is what I'm going to leave you with. Hopefully you're happy with the point. I'm content with it. It could have been so much better, but it could also have been very, very much worse. First 45 was a null affair. There was moments. It was end to end, and they felt there was going to be goals, and then it just went dry. And then, fortunately for us, Lewis Travis, who was looking to be, for me, going to get himself substituted because he just looked a little bit off the pace in the first 45 minutes. But once he got that goal, he was back to his familiar self. Hence why he only got 7. If he played that like he did in and around about the goal for the full 90, I'm sure I would have given him an 8 or a 9. But another goal. Obviously, he did get one, a dubious one against Sheffield Wednesday. That's what we're missing. Goals from midfield. If the likes of Downey could add some more, obviously Travis could add some more as well. Any other of the defensive midfielders could add more goals to the tally. Then you know what, we might have a chance to really surprise a few more teams along the way. But anyway, folks, I'm content with the point. We're going to move on now to Fulham. Match preview will kick us off around Monday or Tuesday. So stick around for that bad boy. Make sure you drop a like and a thumbs up and to subscribe and all that kind of good stuff. Check out the description. Links to my other social media platforms are in there. Twitter, vocal on there. Facebook, occasionally vocal on there. And of course, Patreon, boys and girls. If you want to give us a nudge in the right direction, check out the old Patreon link down there in your description. But we'll do it all again very, very soon. Until then, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.